What do you see when you look through the eyes of a child? Do you see innocence? Do you see curiosity? Do you see admiration as they're looking at you as their guide to help them navigate life? Do you see a miracle, something born out of a small, if you will, seed and formed into so many different systems? Do you see their playfulness? Do you see the desire for adventure? Do you see quality, that they want quality relationships, a quality life? Do you see that they do not use crutches to handle or cover up their emotions? That when they play, and they're so involved in that playing, they don't even consider at that time food for a long time. When I remember my first somewhat visual of seeing a baby. I was a baby myself. And I remember looking inside of a playpen and being amazed by this little figure that was just goo and gaga in the playpen, touching his fingers and his toes. And I remember when I was an early adolescent and an older lady was keeping a baby. It was my cousin's grandmother. And she asked me if I wanted to hold the baby. And I was like, no, I don't. I was afraid of dropping the baby. To me, I felt like babies were miracles and they were just so delicate and so beautiful and just so awesome to see that. And then after my personal experience with projection of pain at the crossroads of the dark wilderness, I remember thinking that children should be allowed to live their lives without the interruption or projection of someone's pain. I remember thinking that. And if you go back and you start thinking about what were your thoughts as a child? What did you think about the world? Did you consider it a mean place? Did you consider it so much possibilities when you saw the sun and you felt it on your back and your neck and just on your body? When you saw the night sky or the clear blue sky in the morning, what did you think? When you had your first taste of ice cream and food, what did you think about this world? Yes, I did see some people that were hurting, but I knew that something loved me. I knew that life was more than just the projection of pain. I wanted to enjoy life, to travel and see things. I see it in my children. I recently had a conversation with my husband, and I said, you know what? We were talking about our son and daughter's artistic ability and how they don't want to be rushed. That was one of my son's main complaint or concern about public schools. He felt like he was rushed, like he didn't have time in between periods, class periods, to really let the information sink in his mind. That he didn't have time to really prepare his mindset for the next class. He felt rushed, eating, playing. And I think because children are so close to our Creator, they come in here with those very qualities that we have uninhibited. fresh, not having gone through the experiences that we have. And often, my children, it was one of the sayings that I had in Oregon when I was trying to rush and work on my writing career, and I was going back and forth, taking care of my children and trying to write and trying to exercise and trying to be there for my husband. And I just felt like I was going nowhere, doing nothing. And I remember hearing the words, what's the rush? And I say that often so much to now because I understand it, that there is a process and a time for everything. Our children sometimes look at us. Our children look at us and be like, "Why are we rushing, Mom? Why do we have to rush to get somewhere?" And and I'm the one that definitely should be saying, "Hey, slow down," because I've had my share of a couple accidents because I was rushing to do something. We live in this rush society. We rush at eating, we rush at sleeping, we rush at with our dressing and going to work and going to the movies and getting ready for events, that we don't have time to really assess how we're feeling, to really embrace the whole process of getting dressed and really just doing it in a comfortable way. And I know some of that is because, we have so many activities that we are doing. And I see my children as if they're like walking in slow motion. Like, and we want to talk about being in the now, being in the present. Take a look at your child and see what they're doing before we socialize them to move, go. How were they before that? Because I get to see my children, we don't, they've been homeschooled, and I get to see that it's not that they don't care. It's like they really embrace their eating, they embrace their drawing, they embrace, their just whatever activity they're in, they take time and they're in the moment. We're reading books and things about getting in the moment, and maybe we should look at our children and watch them and see what they do. I was watching my children one day. I've been back and forth regarding food. I've been up 50 pounds, 60 pounds, especially after my daughter, my second pregnancy. I was up 60 pounds and 60 or more. And I remember, I started exercising, and I was just like, well, I had this mindset that I can eat whatever I want, and then I can just exercise it off. And then it was like, no, because whatever you eat, it still goes in you, and it has that effect. And I just happened to look at my children, how they weren't even thinking about food. They were busy playing, and how healthy looking they were, um, definitely within their requirements, BMI. And I thought, I didn't come in this world overweight. It's where we put food above anything else. That's all I used to talk about. That was the one good thing that I used to look forward to, was food. But life is not about food. We eat, yes, to stay alive, to give our bodies the nutrients, but we should not be using it as a crutch, constantly snacking on something and eating tubs of food and numbing our emotions and our feelings. Often children don't do that. They want to play. They're curious. They want to enjoy life. They want to do more than that. And just looking at them helped me to change just even my attitude towards eating, that I wasn't born this way, so I don't have to be this way, no matter who's in my family history, in my lineage. And majority of what I talk about is about remembering who you are. There's this saying that children should be seen and not heard, right? But the thing is that we want to see them, and we want to hear them. We want to see how they respond to life. Often we want to beat ourselves up because we felt like we got into some experiences that were potentially traumatic or very painful, because out of our curiosity, out of our admiration for others, out of our joy, out of our wanting to know things. And within And then we blame ourselves, and then we're not as curious anymore. We're not as joyful. We kind of leave that child alone to itself, blaming the child, blaming those childhood attributes, our creator's attributes, because of what someone else did or didn't do. And within our childhood is not only our attributes, but also the links to our purpose, why we're here, our gifts and abilities. And you'll find out that a lot of people, I remember I was on Facebook, and a person had stopped drawing, doing art, because of what had happened to her. And I believe that our gifts not only help to heal others, but they can also be the healing tool for ourselves. That is through our art, it is through our love that we let go of our pain. Seeing the beautiful creation that comes out of us, that bursts out of us out as a result of the pain that we felt. You know, when I think about children, I think about quality. I think about my sons and daughters. My daughter, she loves to hug, and she's always been a touchy person. Like when she was a baby, she would just hold our thumb, as she would fall asleep. And my son, he's more of a talkative person, and just really just asking questions. I remember hearing, though, at one of my son's schools, she said, the mother said, yeah, that he reads. I listened to him read, but in the same sentence, she said that I have him to read to himself. And how much are we missing out of and from our children when we don't see their attributes? We don't see how they respond to life. Yes, we are their guides, but we're also, as parents and guardians, a student. We're never just a teacher. We don't depart from being a student. Our children are there to also teach us, to remind us of who we are. To see them when they go and play with other children, and they're not saying, asking the child, what culture are you? What tradition are you? What religion are you? They're not asking them that. They're more concerned about, wow, you want to play with me? Let's play together. What can we play together? It's not black or white. I didn't think about it for a long time until I realized that there are some people who don't like you because of the color of your skin. And I believe Barack Obama he had made a statement posted on Facebook that or one of the social medias, that people are not born prejudiced and racist. I believe, yes, we come in with our own curriculum, and there are things, I believe, in a previous life that we need to work out in this lifetime. But when they come in and you sit a baby of different color, of different race, of different religion to them, do they not still smile at them? Do they not still want to touch them? Do you not see that curiosity? It is until then that we socialize our children that no, don't associate with them because of this, this, and this, and this, and this. The seeds we plant often, very often, if not all, depend on our beliefs and our thoughts. Because whatever we teach, we end up confirming or grounding in ourselves. And if we can just really, with the mindset of thinking about, okay, what all are we experiencing in this world? And is there anything that I can do to help me raise children who are more like our Creator, who remember who they are, who have that curiosity, that love, that no rush mentality, that they want to embrace life and enjoy life. I think we should be looking more at the child and see, what can I learn from you? You are here for a reason. You're not here for me to take out my anger. You're not here for me to make someone like me. You're not here for me just to sow hatred, division in. Let me see how you respond to someone who is not like you, who is different, who speaks different, who looks different. Let me see how you play. Let me listen to the questions that you ask. Within the cycle of pain, or within a child, are the keys to breaking the cycle of pain. By just looking through the eyes of a child. I mean, again, not the physical display, but looking deep within the soul, at the core of their being. And so I just want to, again, all of this is just to increase awareness. What can we do for the next generation? How can we be there more for them to help them remember who they are? What beliefs have I been socialized in believing? And how can I prevent from passing that on to the next generation? And I think part of that is remembering ourselves as children, is healing whatever we need to do to get past the projected pain and to really see all those qualities in ourselves: the innocence, the curiosity, the need for quality and not rush, for really embracing and enjoying our life. How can I get back to that? I hope this has been beneficial for you, because I do believe that everything has a reason, has a purpose, and it's never to project pain. It's always to remember who we are. This is Tamika Chambers with Create a Generational Love Cycle. What do you see when you look at the eyes of a child? It's not the pain that we've been through. That's not what they're here for. It's to help us to remember the love that we have inside of us, to help remember that there is future, there's a hope, there's hope, that we're here for divine reasons, and that we have so much to offer the world. I'll talk to you guys soon. As always, make this lifetime great, because no matter what, you still can.